Hiya kids, Ricky again. Just wanted to say hi, we are missing you so much and I can't wait to come back to church in December. But today we're going to hear from Chrissy about one of my most favourite stories in the Bible, about Daniel in the lion's den. Now she's going to tell you that story, but I really love lions, but I really love this story because I love Jesus too. So what are we going to do this week? In your bags you've been given a few activities. So you will be given a piece of paper like this, and you're going to be making a lion's mask. Would you like to see mine? I spent lots of time colouring it in and putting a strap on the back and cutting it out really smart and tidy. Roar! Lions are my most favourite animals. You will also have some Play-Doh, and I'd like you to see if you can make a lion using your Play-Doh. And mums and dads, guardians and parents, we would love to see your kids' lions and your kids' lions masks, as well as knowing that they've gobbled up and enjoyed all of their sweets. So over to you, Chris.
Hi everyone, hope you've had a good week. Have you ever had to be rescued from anything or seen stories of people being rescued? Do you remember how last week we learned how Daniel's friends trusted God to protect them? Well, Daniel and his friends were in Babylon for a long time. In fact, they even saw new kings in the country. And King Darius was one of these new kings. And he liked Daniel. He was so pleased with him that he wanted to put him in charge of the whole country over all the other leaders that he'd appointed. Well, the other leaders didn't like this. They were jealous of him. They were jealous that he was so popular with the king, and they wanted to find a way of getting him into trouble. The trouble was, they knew this would be difficult because Daniel always did the right thing. The only way we can get at him is through his trust in his God, they said. And they all got together and they hatched up a plan. And then they went to the king and they said, "Oh, King Darius, live forever. All your leaders have agreed that you should issue a decree that anyone who worships any other god or man other than bow down to you should be thrown into the lion's den. And now, O king, we want you to issue this decree, but we want you to put it in writing so that it can't be changed." Well, the king did as they'd asked. Now, Daniel hadn't been part of this plot, obviously. And when he heard about it, he went home to his upstairs room where the window opened towards Jerusalem. And he knelt down 3 times a day, as he always did, and he prayed to God, and he asked God to protect him. But you know, the other men, they were spying on Daniel, because as I said, they wanted to find a way of getting him into trouble. And when they saw what he was doing, they went to the king and they said, "Didn't you issue a decree that said people mustn't bow down to any other god or person other than you?" "Well, yes, that's right," said the king. "Well, Daniel's breaking the rules," they said, "and he's still praying 3 times a day." Well, the king was very upset about this and he wanted to rescue Daniel, but the other leaders forced him to remember what he'd said in the decree that he'd written, and he couldn't get out of it. So he had Daniel brought and thrown into the lion's den. But as he went in, the king said to Daniel, "May your God, who you serve always, rescue you." And then he had a stone put over the front of the lion's den. Now the king was so unhappy about having to do this because he really liked Daniel and he didn't want any harm to come to him. He was so unhappy that he didn't eat or drink anything that night. And when he went to bed, he just could not sleep. He tossed and turned and tossed and turned. Oh, what a long night it was. But eventually it became daylight. And as soon as he saw the light, he got up and he went to the lion's den and he called out, "Daniel, has your God been able to rescue you?" "Yes, your majesty. He sent an angel to close the mouth of the lions," Daniel called back. Well, the king was so happy and he ordered that Daniel should be brought out of the lion's den. But he was so cross with those people that had tried to kill him that he ordered that they be thrown into the lion's den instead. And as soon as they fell into the lion's den, the lions attacked them and they killed them. And then the king said to people, I want you all to fear the God of Daniel. How did that story make you feel, I wonder? Were there parts of it that you liked, or were there parts you didn't like? How do you think God can rescue us? When you think about these things, find somebody at home that you can talk to. Have a good week. Stay safe and God bless you all. Bye.
Rah! Thanks, Chrissy. What an amazing story. I really enjoyed that story, but I was a bit scared when I learned that the guys at the end got gobbled up by that lion. I was so happy that Daniel didn't. But what I'm really happy about is knowing that we are protected by that same God who can beat the lion, who can keep that lion's mouth closed, is the same God who loves you and is going to keep you nice and safe. So until next week, guys, God bless and see you soon. Take care. Bye.